The heart of your teams. The heart of Texas. Bally Sports Southwest. The heart of the fan.
The 2023 Rangers are fueled by postseason dreams. Their remarkable start propels them toward an AL West crown, a title untouched for 7 seasons. While their thirst for the West intensifies, a wild card position gleams on their radar. Tonight, the Rangers are north of the border, facing the Blue Jays, and each team stands in the way of the other's postseason intentions.
So what you gonna do now?
Yes, in fact, it is our final game here in Toronto. The last of 4 very big contests between the Rangers and the Blue Jays at Rogers Center in Toronto. Now, we knew this was going to be a big one coming in, and the Rangers seem to have figured it out at the right time, having won the first 3 games of this series. Now a half-game lead over the Mariners. The Blue Jays have been knocked out of the wild card spot, a game behind Seattle at the moment. Of course, in the division, the Rangers just a game back of Houston. So there you go, folks. That's what we have going here in Toronto. I'm Dave Raymond with Dave Valley. The Rangers feeling very good up here north of the border. And one of the things that has gone particularly well for them and might really explain this turnaround has been a resurgent offense.
Yeah, the offense has been absolutely outstanding. Last night, they pounded out 3 home runs, accounting for 8 of the 10 runs scored. But take a look at this. The last 4 games are averaging 7.6 runs per game. Nathaniel Lowe with that big 3-run home run last night. Robbie Grossman hit his 10th home run, which now has the Texas Rangers at 10 players with 10 or more home runs. That's second most in the American League. And of course, last night, the long 3-run home run to right center off the bat of Mitch Garver made it 10-0. That gives the Texas Rangers 25 games scoring 10 or more runs. That is most in the major leagues.
And it hasn't been all offense. The Rangers' rotation seems to have figured a few things out as well. Eovaldi will have the start today, and Leslie has the starters in the spotlight when we come back. Rangers baseball on Bally Sports is presented by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts. And by Baylor Scott & White Health, changing healthcare for the better.
Welcome back to beautiful Toronto. Our last day here in Canada as Rangers baseball on Bally Sports is presented by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts. And here at the Rogers Center, the Rangers will go for the sweep. Of course, they've won 5 straight in all 3 of this series so far, and a big reason for that has been the pitching. And even though they can't decide exactly what it is that's changed, Bruce Bochy said that the pitchers have gotten back to who they are as we put our pitching in the Shiner Box spotlight. As a whole, the last 5 games, they've had a 2.4 ERA and cut down on the home runs. That's been one of the biggest things. Before that, and the previous 7, the ERA was an 8.72, and they were giving up at least 3 home runs per game. In Toronto, Jordan Montgomery, Max Scherzer, Dane Dunning have all gone the distance, and that length has been really important to the bullpen as well. Hopefully, Nathan Eovaldi and Krug today can build on that, Dave.
Yep, that'll be a key today for this Rangers team, especially going to Cleveland afterward, where there is that question mark about who will start Sunday's game, replacing Max Scherzer. So there's still some question marks surrounding exactly how this rotation will play out in the days coming up here. But for right now, this last turn through has been pretty good. Eovaldi hoping to keep that going. All right, as we get set for this final game, a chance for a sweep for the Rangers. Their record now 81-64, and they're a game back of Houston in the division. They own the 2nd wild card currently in the American League. It'll be Marcus Semien leading it off at 2nd, Corey Seager at shortstop, and then Nathaniel Lowe with a right-hander out there. He's back up in that 3rd spot in the order. Garver DHing, Grossman at right, Heim catching, Smith, Duran, and Evan Carter in center field bats 9.
Now on the mound for the Toronto Blue Jays will be Kevin Gausman. He's 11-8 with a 3.28 ERA, so in 167 innings. 217 strikeouts to just 44 walks. Opponents hitting .237 against the right-hander. That's 5th best in the league, that ERA. And he will come at you with the 4-seam fastball at 95 miles an hour with a splitter at 86 and a slider at 84. Defensively for the Blue Jays will be Whit Merrifield out in left field, Kevin Kiermaier in center field, Kevin Biggio in right. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. will be at first base, Davis Schneider at second, Bo Bichette at shortstop, and Matt Chapman making a start here tonight over at third, and Alejandro Kirk will be behind the plate.
Yeah, that's pretty big news for Toronto to get Chapman back off the injured list and activated today playing third base. Roof open, as you can see. A look at the CN Tower just out over the right field corner. And we are ready to go here tonight. Another gorgeous evening. Man, we have enjoyed some truly spectacular weather while up here in Canada. And we will say goodbye tonight as we head off to Cleveland afterward. Yeah, so there's Chapman. And listen, I mean, this is a guy who's a big part of the foundation of what they're trying to do here in Cleveland. And they really needed him back. And today, happy to have him back in the lineup, and they didn't waste any time, right? I mean, he's been out here working out the last couple of days, and they slide him right into the lineup tonight because it is do or die time for both teams. I think there's some definite pressure, though, here locally on these Toronto Blue Jays. They had pretty fancy designs after a good run leading into this series. They had passed the Rangers in the standings, and we're just looking to defend that position. The Rangers have come in, though, and thrown quite a little surprise party on these Blue Jays, and their skipper John Schneider. So here we go. For the Blue Jays, they do send a good one out there tonight in Kevin Gausman, the 32-year-old right-hander, having another great season, and his first pitch, Semien fouls it over to the right side out of play. Well, off we go tonight. Ooh, 18 degrees again here tonight. Centigrade. 65 Fahrenheit. This one in the air right field and handled out there by Biggio. Semien retired to start the ball game.
Gausman coming off a good start against the Royals in his last outing. He went 8 innings, gave up just 1 run, and had 10 strikeouts.
And one of the better strikeout pitchers in the game. That was his 8th start this year with at least 10 strikeouts. His first offering to Seager, and he's going right after it. Pops it up along the third base side, but that one ends up in the stands for strike 1. Corey had another hit last night, was 1 for 4 with a walk in yesterday's game. Having a great series. 6 for 13. And has extended a hitting streak now to 4 games. He hits this ball hard. Deep out to right field. Biggio's back. He hit that a kilometer out there. Solo shot for Seager. And the Rangers jump out front 1-0 in the first.
Well, Kevin Gausman tries to sneak another fastball past Corey Seager. Challenged him on pitch number 1, came right after him on pitch number 2, and this ball is absolutely crushed off the bat of Seager. Little split finger he leaves up out over the plate. This is no question that this one is gone. Seager just puts his head down and goes into that very familiar trot.
31st time this year he's been able to just jog around the bases. His 90th RBI of the year as well. And Lowe takes off the plate, ball 1.
Always good to get a run up on the board first in the game. Corey Seager's done that a number of times this season. Him and Marcus Semien at the top. Just what an incredible 1-2 punch.
He's having such a big year. Again, missed 40 games for injury. That one is low. Ball 3. If if not for those 40 games missed, and I mean, listen, that's not necessarily a real fair game to play. But if you just extend what he has done for an additional 40 games, I'm not saying he's a hands-down MVP this year. He may be the MVP this year in the American League anyway, when it's all said and done. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, his numbers are going to stack up awfully well, leading the league in hitting. His power numbers have surged. And there's a strike to low, 3-1.
Well, he has certainly enjoyed facing Toronto Blue Jay pitching this season. With that hit, he is 14 for 27. That's over 500. 6 doubles, 2 home runs, and 7 RBIs.
Lowe shoots that down the line, but that will slice away foul.
But Dave, just to your point about the MVP race, if you just look at his numbers coming into today, we'll add that home run here, hitting over 340, 31 home runs, now with 90 RBIs. For a team that has been in first place the majority of the season. There's no question that those numbers are in there for even though he's missed 40. Now I understand too, you want to extrapolate the number of more home runs that he would have hit in 40 extra games and how many more RBIs. But there's still some time left for him to continue to add to those numbers.
Well, there are, and here's the other thing, right? When the team has needed him most, and that has been in August and September, we all know the little stretch they just went through. The whole time he was a very steady hand there, providing great work offensively and defensively. If you want to go by the metric of WAR, wins above replacement, and that could be a slippery slope. I get it, because it's a difficult one for all of us to get our minds around exactly how it's calculated. He's 4th right now in baseball, not the league, 4th in baseball, behind Ohtani, Mookie Betts, and Acuna. And again, that's a number that accumulates with games played, and he's missed 40. That is down low to Garver, 2-1. So a walk to Lowe after the home run. And now Gausman nibbling away at Garver here, who can do some damage as well. 17 home runs for Garver now. And that's fouled back just to the right of us.
You talk about a guy that stepped up here in August and September. How about Mitch Garver? What he's done, that long 3-run home run last night to make the score 10-0.
Two pitch from Gausman, and that is strike 3. A fastball hits the corner. 2 away. I'll bring up Robbie Grossman. How about our Coors Light beating the pressure? And you mentioned how Garver has stepped up. Robbie Grossman, my goodness, his team has run off 5 straight victories, and yeah, he's been a big part of that as well. Robbie hitting .429 in these games. He's driven in 7 runs and hit a couple of really big homers.
Well, it's been his ability to get on base too, I think, that has really brought him into a very favorable light with Bruce Bochy putting him in that number 3 spot tonight, hitting down in the 5th slot from the left side. But over his last 26 games, his on base percentage is .426, slugging over 500. Kind of an unsung hero over the last month. Not to us, though.
No. 1-1 pitch, and this one's rolled up the middle. Takes a little while, and that one had some eyes. That sneaks right through into center field. A 2-out hit for Grossman, and here we are in the 1st inning, and the Bluebirds making an early appearance in Toronto.
Yeah, this one just splits the scene between Bo Bichette and Schneider. Another split finger right here, down and away. Robbie hits it solid as this ball rolls up, but take a look there. There's a little tentativeness of, okay, who's going to get it? I see you coming out of the corner of my eye. Maybe I should pull up. Whoa, whoa. And then the ball rolls all the way into center field. You see both of them right there at the very last second pull up. Typically, your shortstop is going to come behind. The second baseman is going to take the much more direct angle. And then if he can't get it, then maybe the shortstop can grab it. That time they were both on that same trajectory to make contact.
Grossman on again. And that puts a couple of runners out there for Jonah Heim, who, stop me if you've heard this before, he's swinging a hot bat right now. That's inside 1-1. He's driven in 7 runs in this series. Each time a new Rangers batter comes up here, I'm thinking, oh well, this guy, he's been huge in this series. Here's why the Rangers have had success in this series. I guess it's probably because everybody right now really contributing on the offensive side.
Well, and just to give you an idea, like, of the turnaround for Jonah in this series, he's 4 for 13 with a home run and 7 RBIs, as you just mentioned. But the previous 20 games, he had just 1 home run and 7 RBIs. So good to see Jonah Heim back, driving in runs. He's done such an incredible job with runners in scoring position all season.
Well, it takes strike 3 called here, and the inning is done. So Gausman manages to work around a couple of base runners, but he got hurt early. And it's from a usual suspect, Corey Seager, with his 31st home run of the year. And the Rangers have the early 1-0 lead. Come to bat here tonight. They have 80 wins, 66 losses. They're 11.5 back of Baltimore in the East. It will be George Springer, though. He's DHing today, leading it off. Bo Bichette at short, Vladimir Guerrero at first. Schneider, Biggio, and Chapman in the middle of the order. Whit Merrifield in left. Kirk does the catching, and Kiermaier in center field.
And on the mound for the Texas Rangers will be the right-hander Nathan Eovaldi. Eovaldi is 11-4 with a 2.90 ERA. He's got 115 strikeouts, 37 walks. Opponents hitting only .217 off the right-hander. His arsenal is a 4-seam fastball at 95, that good splitter at 88, a cutter at 91, a curveball, and a slider.
Okay, well, another big game for the Rangers. A big start for Nathan Eovaldi, his 3rd since coming back off the injured list. And he's off the plate with ball 1 to George Springer. 262 average for Springer, 19 home runs this year. And that's fouled back. 1-1.
And for Eovaldi, his pitch counts are starting to climb up there. 35 in his first outing since coming off the IL. 47 pitches in his last outing. Probably expecting anywhere between 65 to 70 here tonight. So hopefully he can be very efficient with those pitches.
Yeah, Boch said he'd even go as far as maybe 75 pitches tonight, which I thought was interesting. That's a larger bump. Now you're talking closer to a 20 pitch bump, start over start. But Boch said he felt pretty comfortable the way that Eovaldi has looked and bounced back. Here comes a 2-1 to Springer. Man, there's a big swing and a miss.
It's a good split finger right there. Got Springer well out in front of that pitch. And then from a managerial perspective, right? You watch him pitch his first 2 outings. You have to just trust the guy, trust the player, especially a veteran like Eovaldi.
Fly ball center field for Evan Carter, and that's the first out of the inning.
Time now for the Rally House defense for the Texas Rangers. Ezekiel Duran in left field, Evan Carter in center, Robbie Grossman over in right, Nathaniel Lowe first base, Marcus Semien at second, Corey Seager with the home run at shortstop, Josh Smith making the start at third base tonight, and Jonah Heim behind the plate.
Good to get that first batter of the ball game, and now a fastball in on Bo Bichette. Bichette still has that average up over 300 at 306 now. And he has the ability to hit the ball over the fence as well. Lines this one though into left field. That'll be a single for the Blue Jays shortstop.
And for Bo Bichette, that breaks a string of 0 for 16 and just 2 for 20 since coming off the IL. He gets a fastball in the inner half of the plate. Puts a nice short stroke on his ball for a line drive base hit to left. These are the two guys, Bichette and Vladimir Guerrero Jr., that the Rangers have really been able to keep silent during this series. Guerrero just 1 for 14. Here's a look at the StatCast powered by Google Cloud. You can see how well the Rangers pitchers have handled Bo Bichette. 0 for 12. Grounds out, fly out, a lot of soft contact. And for Guerrero, just 1 for 11. And that one was just a kind of a check swing chopper. Infield base hit. That ball off the bat of Bichette was probably the hardest ball hit between the two of them the entire series.
Bichette hasn't done a lot of running. He's over at first. The 1-1, and that ball is clubbed deep out to left. That is an upper deck shot. 22nd of the year for Guerrero. And so the Blue Jays answer the bell in the first inning, and they have a 2-1 lead.
Well, Bichette's ball was the hardest hit until this one right here. A little split finger. Actually, this was a breaking ball on the inner half at 81 miles an hour into the second level here at Rogers Center.
So the base is empty now for Snyder, and he takes outside for a ball. Davis Schneider, rookie second baseman. Going to clean up again tonight for Toronto. He was in the cleanup spot yesterday. And yesterday, Snyder was 0 for 4. It was not a good offensive night yesterday for Toronto as a group. Off the plate, 2-1. Toronto did not get a runner to second base last night in a 10-0 Rangers shutout. So already well ahead of where they were yesterday. The 2-1. There's a swing and a miss. Guerrero homer, just the 11th allowed by Eovaldi this year. Here's 2-2 now to Schneider, and that is outside. Full count. It's the 7th time since he was called up that Snyder's been asked to back cleanup. The payoff pitch to him, and he'll bounce it foul. Stays 3-2. That's generally where he is settled in the 4th and 5th spot in the lineup for the Blue Jays. He's been a boost for him, there's no doubt. 3-2 pitch, and he swings and bounces this one left side of the infield. Good job by Smith to get to it. Throws out Snyder. 2 away. Brings up Cavan Biggio. Biggio with 9 home runs and 34 RBIs. And the one thing that he provides Schneider is that ability to play pretty much anywhere on the diamond. And they've moved him around a lot. He'll take strike 1 on a curveball from Eovaldi.
We saw Biggio play a very good third base while Chapman was gone.
Back at him with a splitter this time, and it's 0-2. Well, there is Chapman waiting in the on-deck circle. Big slugging third baseman and Gold Glove third baseman. Eovaldi a little bit low with that one. Final game in our 4-game series. Rangers hoping for a sweep. And Biggio went after this pitch up in the zone. He pops it up. And it is Smith going out who makes the catch, and the inning is over. But what a start tonight. Couple of big swings on both sides. First, it was Seager for the Rangers, a solo shot. But Guerrero answered in the bottom of the first, a 2-run blast. And the home team has the 1-run lead. Paying attention. But just a little reminder, the MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit to Globe Life Field. You buy and manage the tickets, you access all that exclusive content, and you do all sorts of other stuff with it. Download it now, the MLB Ballpark app. Perfect thing to have on your phone. You only need 2 things, that map app and the Ballpark app. Well, and the MLB app.
You know what I was just thinking?
Also probably your email.
Be a great thing, a great addition to the MLB Ballpark app.
Yeah.
Like if they had like a little section where they could have ballpark recipes.
Ballpark recipes.
Hot dogs and hamburgers, you know. Maybe order your food inside the ballpark.
Oh, well, now that'd be something.
Okay, now you're tracking.
There's a high fly ball out to right field. Biggio to his right. He'll make the catch. Smith got under that a little bit, but a pretty good swing. One long out here to start the 2nd inning. That'll bring up Ezekiel Duran. So Duran gets the start in left field tonight. Right-handed hitter with the right-hander Gausman out there. And a large reason why is that Leody Taveras is getting another day today. Get that hand in better shape. A good bunt by Duran, and he has an infield hit.
But I don't know if he could have rolled it out there any better. Duran pulling a little surprise right here on Chapman, his first game out there. But you see how he just deadens it. He catches it a little bit off the end of the bat, which takes a lot of the energy out of the pitch. And it just rolls there in a perfect location. Chapman realizing he's got no chance to get Duran to first base.
Evan Carter now with a man on base. And he'll take low, ball 1. Boy, that's huge. I mean, Duran saw that Chapman was playing normal depth, if not even maybe a little deep at third base, and just took advantage. One and one. And again, the whole point is, we'll take a look here. Well, you see where Chapman's playing at third, and for Duran, yeah, all you have to do is get that thing down, really. As great as Chapman is, I mean, he's a Gold Glove third baseman, but he's that deep.
Yeah, not even Adrian Beltre could have made that play. And I don't think there was anybody better on a bunt at third base defensively than Adrian Beltre.
Running in the bare-handed throw.
Amazing.
So a ball and 2 strikes on Carter. Duran has 8 steals this year. Small lead at first. And he'll draw a throw. So there's a disengagement. First of the at-bat for Gausman. You got to keep track of these. We've seen that factor in recently. Once in Minnesota. And then earlier on Monday night in this series. Gausman delivers low. 2-2. But back to Duran even being in the lineup today. You would think against Gausman it would probably be a day that Duran wouldn't get a start in the outfield. But because Taveras hurt that left hand a few days ago on a swing, give him another day today, and they needed him in the outfield. Carter strikes out. And that is the 3rd strikeout for Gausman tonight. Bring up Marcus Semien. Hopefully, though, with Taveras not a big deal. We were even led to believe last night that it might just be a 1-game situation for Leody, but he gets today as well. So no one's terribly concerned. They think he'll be close and should be back in that Cleveland series this weekend beginning tomorrow night. Semien takes strike 1.
And Taveras was one of the players who was having such a great start here in the month of September. You definitely need him back in the outfield defensively, set in center. but also for that offensive impact on the bottom of the lineup.
1-1 now. How amazing now, though, the whole Evan Carter addition, right? The Rangers have a very legitimate center fielder to slide in there in his absence. 1-1. And a big swing and a miss. So defensively, they don't really lose a whole lot. No, with Evan Carter out there, he can run them down.
And I think if you ask Bruce Bochy, he would tell you that that would be the #1 priority for Evan Carter. Just play the defense. Whatever you bring offensively will just be icing on the cake.
2-2. Cake recipe you might find on the MLB ballpark app.
There you go for under desserts.
I know where you're going now. I like this. Marcus flew out to right field in the first inning. 0 for 1. Ooh, Gausman just missed outside. Gausman, we mentioned, one of the better strikeout pitchers going these days. 217 strikeouts coming in, leading the American League. And there's a swing and a foul tip. Semien stays alive. So Duran returns to first base. Everybody resituated to say get some new baseballs. A 2-1 ball game, couple of home runs, one for each team to get us started here tonight with a roof open. We saw 3 massive home runs yesterday by the Rangers in a 10-0 win. Kirk looking into the dugout. What in the world is the delay here? Not sure I fully understand. We had a foul ball. I mean, is there a reason it's...
Could it be all those flies we just saw there? It doesn't look like anything to do with Kirk behind the dish.
Quick toss over to first, and Duran gets back in there. Let's see what happened with Kirk on the foul ball. Well, just kind of on the foot.
That'll hurt.
3-2. And that's ripped foul. Oh, good effort.
You got to kind of lay out for those.
I was going to say, you might need to give yourself up on that, but easy for me to say from up here. But Duran's had a couple of starts off first base. He's getting his reps in anyway. Gausman, this will be his 40th pitch of the night already. Duran running again, the 3-2, and that is high, ball 4. That's a big walk. For so many reasons, it's just a solid plate appearance. That's great. You're forcing Gausman to throw more pitches. That's wonderful. But now you get your big guy to the plate with 2 men on base versus, let's say, having him lead off next inning.
And at this point, with the way Corey Seager is swinging the bat against the Blue Jays, you want to give him every opportunity to drive in runs, which is he's been doing so well, hitting over 500 against the Blue Jays on the season. 14 for 27.
And he hits this one foul out of play. And when you know, before the ball game, one of the things you do is you look through the head-to-heads. Is there anything that really stands out in terms of particular hitters against today's starting pitcher? And there was one that stood out, and that was Corey Seager and his numbers against Gausman. 467 average against him. And he hits that hard out to left field. Merrifield is back near the wall, reaches up, and he almost had it, but it's down on the track. 2-run score. It'll be a double for Corey Seager, and the Rangers retake the lead. It's 3-2.
Well, Dave, that's exactly why you want him up there, because of the damage that he has been doing against this ball club, and particularly against Gausman over his career. Little fastball on the outer half of the plate, and this is what has made him so dangerous this year. It doesn't matter where he hits the ball. That ball is in the glove, rattles around, and as soon as he makes contact with the wall, he's unable to hold on to it. Never really had it secure in the pocket of his glove. But Corey Seager with yet another double, and this time would have been off the wall in left field.
So Lowe goes right after the very next pitch, pops it up back of short, and Bichette makes the play to end the inning. But Seager's done it again. He's driven in all 3 Rangers runs, and they're back in front 3-2.
In the bottom of the second, and I have some good news on a couple of Rangers. Let's start with Josh Young, who was cleared for all baseball activities today by Dr. Sheridan in Arizona. He will stay there for now. He will work out today, tomorrow, Saturday, take Sunday off, and then Monday he will be back with the team. Doesn't mean he will play yet Monday, but he will rejoin the team. Meanwhile, Adolis Garcia is ahead of schedule. He is going to rejoin the team in Cleveland tomorrow. Now, he's not going to play this weekend. He cannot be activated until Monday, but both could be in the lineup sometime during the homestand next week, and for sure, hopefully, against Seattle starting on Friday. So good news for a couple of guys that would bring a lot of power to this offense.
Oh yeah, reinforcements are on the way.
Well, I'll tell you what, and you know, in their absence, just recently we've seen the Rangers kind of get back to their old ways and figure out how to put together good at bat after good at bat. Then you can start adding back some of those, you know, those big power hitters again, and who knows where it may go. Right now, things feeling pretty good. It's a 3-2 lead, and Matt Chapman is hitting for the first time tonight. He fouls this one back just underneath us. Strike 2. Now he's off the injured list today. Was placed on the IL August 28th. He sprained his right middle finger, and it's taken a little bit of time to get himself back, but here he is. 15 homers for the year, 50 RBIs, and it's off the plate. Longtime Oakland Athletic. And that is low. It's a full count now on Chapman. Baldy's second inning of work. A great spot here for a guy to get a shutdown inning if he can do it. It's 3-2. Chapman lofts it down the left side, and that one ends up in the stands. Stays 3-2. I mentioned earlier just how big a deal it is for them to get Chapman back. I mean, this is a guy you can count on for roughly 30+ home runs a year, in the neighborhood of 100 RBIs. And he'll take outside. That's ball 4. Chapman walks to open the second.
Time now for our AT&T Fiber fast pitch. Nathan Eovaldi this season on the road, just .221 road batting average. That's the 5th lowest in the American League, with a minimum of 10 road starts.
Well, there's a first pitch strike now to Whit Merrifield. Average dips to .279 for the Blue Jays outfielder. He went 0 for 3 in yesterday's game. He taps that one foul. 0-2. The 0 for 3 yesterday just did bump Merrifield out of the top 10 in the league in hitting. A couple points out now. But he's overall had a pretty good year for Toronto. It's a little bit high, 1-2. And I think in some ways you could say that for a lot of Blue Jays. Well, he's had a, fine enough year. And they've won 80 games. They're probably going to win right in that neighborhood of 90 games this year. 2-2. But locally here, and we've seen it the last couple of nights, the booing was very audible the last 2 nights. They were really jumping on top of Bichette, Guerrero. And just talking to folks who have worked in this ballpark for many, many years, to a man, they've all said the same thing. Don't remember the last time that's happened. Do not remember fans here turning on the team and booing them. Someone went so far as to say, this isn't New York. That's a liner down to first, actually on a skip. And Lowe almost turns a double play. Gets the out at second. And the return just beaten out by Merrifield.
This is one of the areas that Nathaniel Lowe has really improved on defensively right here. Off the bat of Merrifield, a little sharp one-hopper. Makes a nice turn and gets off a very accurate throw to Corey Seager. Not an easy play with that runner as you're spinning around. But Merrifield with that good speed beating it out.
Oh, nice play by Lowe. Merrifield much better speed than Chapman, who he replaces there on the fielder's choice. And here is Kirk. And he takes outside. Merrifield has stolen 25 bases. So he will have Eovaldi's attention anyway. He's also been caught 9 times though, so he's vulnerable. That's really not a great ratio. You'd like to be successful a little more frequently, I think, if you're Merrifield on this spot. So I'm not sure he's able to even think about running right now. He's working through everything that Lowe's telling him. Lowe's wearing him out down there. 2-0. Swing and a miss. Kirk comes up empty. He was 0 for 2 with a walk yesterday. Hitless in his last 6 at-bats. Hit into a double play early in the game yesterday, and he takes outside here.
That's a pitch right there that we're seeing Eovaldi really struggle with so far this evening, is the fastball on the outside corner. When he's pitching well, he's able to dot that for a strike, but right now he's just holding on to it just a little bit too long. In this at-bat, he's missed 3 of those pitches off the plate. 3 fastballs.
And that's just wide again. So he's walked Kirk. Second walk in the inning. Gives us a moment now for Baylor's Scott and White Health.
Doc says you're good.
Gets Mike Maddox out there. Just to slow things down for a moment with a 9th place hitter coming up. Well, they could use a ground ball. And honestly, Kirk was a great candidate for it. So tough to lose him on the walk. Instead, he's going to have to try and get Kiermaier. Kiermaier, he's bounced into 9 double plays this season, so he's certainly capable of doing it. 273 average this year for the rangy center fielder. And a curveball is taken outside, ball 1. Came up with the Tampa Bay Rays, where he established himself as one of the best defensive outfielders in the game. Kiermaier takes a strike, 1-1. On a platinum glove, I want to say that was 2013. So that one is low. 2-1. Did I deliver that with confidence, or was that just a little bit of hesitation? I think it was 2013. type of thing. A guy could look up before he even opens his mouth. Two-one. Man, that's tight. Ball 3. So already 2 walks in the inning.
And for Eovaldi, that pitch count now at 42 here in the bottom of the second.
This one fouled off. It's a full count. Well, Eovaldi was on his way to a potential Cy Young this year in the first half. An all-star selection. 3-2 pitch and a bouncer first base. Lowe has it to second one, and that's all they'll get. Seager held on to it. Probably not going to get Kiermaier at first base, and he just thought better of allowing Merrifield to take that turn at third.
Yeah, this is a pretty slow ground ball to Nathaniel Lowe at first base. Once you see a hop like that, Corey Seager recognizing very quickly he doesn't have a chance to get Kiermaier at first and wants to make sure that he double checks Merrifield over at third base.
Time called here. Our plate umpire.
A little butterfly.
Oh, is that right? That's what we
floating.
just. That's amazing. Oh man. Springer takes outside ball 1. Well, listen, 9-year-old me, that would have been a problem. You would have been able to keep me in the box.
You would have been chasing it.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Oh, I could absolutely see that.
On the corners here with 2 out. Springer flew out in the first inning. And Eovaldi again yanking that just a little bit wide. Really interesting.
Yeah, that's a pitch that he needs to have if he's going to really command a baseball game. But right now he's just continually falling behind with that pitch.
That was a cutter, 3-0. He's in danger of loading the bases. Just wobbly command in this second inning. Going for that corner again, and it's too far off. So they are loaded up. Third walk in the inning.
Yeah, all of those pitches were really not competitive pitches from Nathan Eovaldi. He's got some tough outs coming up now. That pitch count now at 48. As we see Maddox on the phone to the bullpen.
Oh boy. Not even close. Ball 1 to a dangerous hitter in Bo Bichette. He had a base hit in the first inning, and yeah, they'll start to move quickly out of that bullpen. And Cody Bradford, who can give you some length. 1-1.
There's a good split finger right there. Let's see if he sticks with that pitch. Bo Bichette with the bases loaded over his career, hitting .286 with 2 grand slams.
This second inning has been a slog for Eovaldi, but if he can corral just one more strike here, he can get himself out of the second with no damage done. There you see the threat in front of him. Merrifield, Kiermaier, and Springer third to first. A swing and a miss. He gets Bichette, and the Blue Jays leave the bases loaded in the second inning.
Eovaldi comes after Bichette one more time with the split finger right here with the 1-2 count. Got tremendous action right there, and Jonah loves it.
Boy, 3-2 the score now to the third inning. Rangers leading by a run as the Blue Jays just left the bases loaded a moment ago. That may be a real big moment in tonight's game. Here's Garver to lead off the third. And Gausman is shooting for that outside corner, and he got the benefit of the call there from Mike Malinsky. This one on the ground, slowly toward third, but Chapman's got a strong arm. His throw pulls Guerrero off, but he gets the tag on Garver. And that's the first out of the inning.
Even the good defensive players, when you're not out there on the field every day, you can kind of find that little inconsistency. But a nice play by Guerrero, leaving the bag, making the grab and the tag all in one motion.
Well, and the injury for Chapman too was on that middle finger of his throwing hand, so who knows, maybe that had a little effect as Grossman takes strike one. Robbie singled in the first inning, and he'll take inside. 1-1. Rangers 3 runs on 4 hits. Blue Jays 2 runs on 2 hits. Gausman nearing 50 pitches for the night. That's strike 2. I think so far the Rangers would have to be very pleased with what they've been able to do against Gausman in the first 2 innings. Number one, scoring in both innings. That's a great accomplishment, but they've also jumped that pitch count a little bit for him.
Yeah, including that great walk, but that was worked by Marcus Semien before Corey Seager hit that double.
Yeah,
he mentioned how important that was. 8 pitches in that at bat.
That pushed him over 40 pitches at the time. 2-2 pitch. Grossman fights that one off. So here we go again, right? I mean, here's Grossman making him work. Rangers have forced him into 20 or more pitches so far in the first 2 innings. Robbie takes low and outside. Gausman, originally a first-round draft pick by the Orioles. He was the 4th overall selection in that 2012 draft. Orioles eventually trading him to Atlanta in a 6-player deal. This one in the air center field and hangs up for Kiermaier. 2 away. How about a moment now for Choctaw Casinos and Resorts?
Fun, games, relaxation, or excitement. We've got all your bases covered at Choctaw Casinos and Resorts.
Jonah Heim now 0 for 1, struck out looking in the first inning. Oh, that ball hit well. Deep out to center. It is gone. A rocket off the bat of Jonah Heim. And the Rangers have scored in each of the first 3 innings. It's 4-2.
Jonah Heim continues to punish the baseball with his 2nd home run of this series. A few nights ago, he hit that long grand slam to left field. And this time he takes Gausman's fastball 96 miles an hour up out over the plate, and he takes it to straightaway center field. Jonah now with 8 RBIs in this series.
Ball was smoked, and here's Josh Smith. He'll take strike 1. So Heim and Seager with solo home runs. Seager has also added a 2-run double. 1 strike pitch. And that's just a little bit up. 4-2 Rangers lead. Smith had a pretty good swing in the second inning. Ended up in a fly out to right field. It's inside. Josh been getting some pretty steady playing time at third base these days. With Josh Young trying to get back from that broken thumb injury. That's low. And you heard the report earlier from Leslie about Josh. Got cleared by the doctors in Arizona. Will work out in Arizona this weekend and rejoin the Rangers when they get home from this road trip on Monday. Red Sox will be in town. 3-1. That's a beauty. Full count. And Smith, it's funny. I mean, the results haven't really been there for him. But the swings have been good. The at-bats have been competitive. 3-2 pitch. He'll earn another one.
Well, and each of these Rangers are really making Gausman work. Robbie Grossman went to 3-2, fouling off a few pitches. Now Josh Smith at a full count as well. It's these type of at-bats that just wear down a pitcher. Gausman 59 pitches already here in the top of the third.
Little bouncer, second base. Playable for Schneider. And that will end the inning, but the Rangers add another run.
Jonah Heim gets it done one more time. The second home run for him of the series.
Chevy under the hood. Jonathan Ornelas, his favorite football team is the Arizona Cardinals. If he played position, he would be a wide receiver, and he does get mega style points. Check out that bling around his neck, and he wears necklaces that were made by a man from Round Rock. Yep, there they are. He has different colors, all sorts of charms. A kid named Jace. I think he's 8 years old, so pretty cool that he does that every game.
And they match the uniform. I like that. I like when colors match. I'm a matchy guy.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't. That's very clear. It looks like we've got a pitch comm issue here. Valdi can't seem to get his to work, and so they need a new one. Mike Molinsky out there. Yeah, you're very matchy.
I mean, I have a hard time like understanding like a bright yellow arm sleeve with a uniform that doesn't have any bright yellow in it.
See,
you know.
Meanwhile, I like
pink.
You haven't said anything about my
unless
bright
it's
yellow
Mother's Day
cabbage socks.
Well, they match with your tie.
Well, they do.
It's matchy.
A little bit.
I'm glad you pointed that out because I did not notice the yellow socks.
Yeah, those are my runs of cabbage.
Those are my high school
socks.
colors right there, green and gold.
Oh, green and yellow?
Yeah.
That's good, though.
Green and gold. We called it gold.
Oh. Sounds fancier that way. Well, all right, they got a new device for Eovaldi. So now everything's okay. Guerrero leading it off here for Toronto. They just left the bases loaded last inning. And Guerrero pops this one up into right field. Grossman will come in and make the catch, one away. Bring up Davis Schneider. Schneider grounded out of the first inning. A .353 hitter, though. You can see the homestand's been somewhat pedestrian for him. .250 average, although there's some extra bases in there. He's 26 games into his big league career, and he has definitely turned some heads.
No, I mean, he's hitting like Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. And people dig the stash. 0-2, almost falls down on that swing.
It didn't take folks very long to adopt it. We've seen a lot of fans wearing that mustache here in the stadium, and for a rookie with only 25 games, that's pretty quick.
Yeah. Of course, they've been ready for somebody to step in here and just kind of be the focal point of this team. The two-strike pitch. They've got such great young talent on this roster. And it's a little hard to believe this is year 5 of the Bichette, Guerrero, you know, that window, whatever we thought that window to be, the young talent that had arrived here. That's fouled off of Jonah. Not in a very good spot either. Stays 1-2.
talking about Nathan Eovaldi having a hard time on the glove side, but you can see how his momentum is falling towards the first base side. Makes it really difficult to finish off a pitch on a downward angle when your body momentum, and we talked about this with Dane Dunning the other night, when you're falling towards first base, it's really hard to land that and hit that outside corner consistently.
1-2 pitch, and that's fouled away. Well, he's kind of like that crossfire pitcher, right? And it's always seemed to me that those are the guys who they can get a little bit off easier, let's say, than a more traditional delivery.
See, and that was his split finger. So his split finger, he definitely stays on it. He takes that shoulder towards home plate much better.
Oh, there you get strike 3 looking, and send Schneider back to the dugout. Second strikeout tonight for Eovaldi.
This is a slider right here. Looks like he wasn't even pleased with that pitch because it is a hanger up in the strike zone, but he'll take it. You can see his reaction. Even though he gets strike 3, kind of turns away a little bit in a little bit of disgust.
Now Biggio, a left-handed hitter, one of 2 lefties in the lineup. Biggio and Kiermaier. He's 0 for 1, popped out his last time up, and he swings through that one. One offering. The bottom of the strike zone a couple of times now. It has appeared as if a pitch might be in there at the bottom, but Mike Malinsky has really not been that forgiving down there. The 2-1. That's inside. Oh. On the check swing, they said that Biggio went. Hunter Wintelstad, our umpire at third, making that call. Here's a 2-2. Good block back there by Jonah. Full count. Eovaldi's payoff, and that is strike 3 called. Ran that right back on the inside corner, and he gets a shutdown inning. 1-2-3 we go, and out of the 4th inning, 4-2. 3 innings in the books. Rangers happy with the way this one has started tonight. A 4-2 lead, and they will have the 8 and 9 hitters coming up here in the 4th. Zeke laid down a beautiful bunt in the 2nd inning. And he takes strike 1 here. Now Chapman at third base has played in a little bit closer to the bag. He's not going to give one to Duran. A bouncer this time to third. And that is a routine bounce to Chapman. Duran retired, 1 away. Hey, next Friday, the first 15,000 fans 18 and older are going to get a City Connect themed baseball card set presented by Texas Lottery. And you can get your tickets right now at Rangers.com. Those look pretty awesome. Evan Carter, the batter, and a backdoor breaking ball is in there. Strike 1. Carter struck out in the 2nd. Gausman with 3 strikeouts so far tonight. He's off the plate, 1-1. Gausman's breakthrough year came in 2021 with the San Francisco Giants. 1-2 the count. Won 14 games that year at a .281 ERA. Through 192 innings. And that got him a nice contract here in Toronto, a 5-year deal. And this is year 2 of that contract. I think last year you'd have to say that He lived up to the deal. 31 starts, pitched well. It's outside, 2-2. And I think this year you'd have to say the same thing. 11-8 with a 3.28 ERA. He's now over 170 innings for the season. He's doing his job. That's low, and it's a full count. That said, he does trail here tonight, 4-2. Rangers have scored in each of the first 3 innings. Payoff to Carter, and he fouls it back.
Another 3-2 count to Gausman. Rangers hitters have just been very pesky here tonight.
Payoff to Carter, and that is low ball 4. There's another one of those really good at bats by the rookie. Wow, what a walk. You know, you'd think in some ways like it'd be kind of hard to get excited about a walk, but not really. This guy, he's really special the way he goes about his business up there at the plate.
Well, I want to say that over the last 2 games, including today, we've seen some pitches on him that look like balls that were called strikes, which would make you think that you're going to expand that strike zone, especially with 2 strikes. 3-2 count. Hey, you know, that umpire might call this. I better start protecting a little bit more. But it just sticks to his game plan.
He's on, and he does have good speed. The 1-0 to Semien. There's a swing and a miss. Marcus, meanwhile, turned in the walk of the night in the 2nd inning. Yeah, this is a big night for walks. He picked a great night to tune in, folks. Some of the best walks we've seen all year. 1-1. That's strike 2. It was an 8-pitch walk with 2 out in the inning. And you could tell that Gausman was tiring just a little bit. Semien bumped him up over 40 pitches with the walk, and then Seager came up and doubled in a couple of 2-out runs. Oh, that's strike 3 called. And that's a tough one for Semien. He's not like it. I mentioned earlier the bottom of the zone really hasn't been all that attractive tonight from Malinsky, but he liked that one.
And this one looks well below the strike zone right there. Look at Marcus. He's like, wait a second, I want to watch that up on the big screen, because that is not what my eyes saw was a strike.
I think that was really baffling to him. So 2 out, and here's Seager again, and he rips that one into right field. He does it again. Carter with great speed into 3rd. They'll stop him there on the single by Corey Seager. He's 3 for 3 tonight.
Okay, if I'm not mistaken, he has swung at every single pitch Gausman has thrown him. Here's another one of those split fingers right here. Gets it on the barrel of the bat. Down and away. This is a tough pitch. But he reaches out and comes around that ball and hits it through the right side. Evan Carter moving from 1st to 3rd easily. And Corey Seager with his 3rd hit of the night. Absolutely amazing.
Well, that is remarkable. Men on the corners now for Nathaniel Lowe. Rangers on top, 3-2. And he takes ball 1. Nathaniel walked in the 1st. He popped out in the 2nd inning. You are correct, by the way.
What's that?
Seager has swung at every pitch he's seen tonight.
Oh, I know.
Fouled.
I know.
Fouled what? 2 of them off, and then has hit a single, a double, and a homer.
I mean, that just tells you he gets in the box. He is in go mode. He's not up there thinking or trying to work anything. He's like, hey, if it's a pitch that I can put my barrel of the bat on it, the bat is moving. Frank Howard, one of my coaches in the big leagues when I was a younger player, used to always say that a bat is not dangerous unless it's moving. So get that bat moving, young man. Corey Seager moves the bat.
Well, that was a pretty good pitch. So, yeah, Goss was like, what?
So, up maybe, but out no way.
Yeah, he didn't like that one. And I think he has an argument. That looked like a pretty good offering. So see if Lowe can take advantage of the favorable call. The 3-1 pitch. That's a full count.
Good split finger right there from Gausman. It's been a very effective pitch for him tonight.
Runner going from first. The pitch is down low. Lowe draws his second walk of the night, and now the Rangers have the bases loaded. They'll get Pete Walker, their pitching coach, out to the mound quickly. Loaded up from Mitch Garver. How about our Choctaw Casinos and Resorts game within the game? So since July 4th, we'll just call him Captain America. Mitch Garver hitting over 300 in 49 games, and he's just gone crazy with the power. I mean, 14 home runs, 32 RBIs, an OPS well over 1,000. He has really stabilized things in the heart of the order. Nothing. I think he's given the Rangers a legitimate DH every night now.
You know, we've talked a lot about the good at-bats of Evan Carter and Robbie Grossman. This guy right here gives you a great at-bat as well.
Pulls that foul.
Here's a look last night back in the 9th inning. Mitch Garver gets up and just hammers this ball to right center field. 2 men aboard. It makes it 10-0 Rangers.
Now it looks like that one hurt a little bit for Garver.
Yeah, I think he got him on the foot. Here's another look at it right here. It's that split finger. Hits him right on top of the foot. Remember, there's no meat right there. That's just skin and bones. Right on top of the laces. That is an owie. Kind of something 9-year-old Dave Raymond would understand.
You're not kidding. But he'll climb right back in there. That's what always amazes me, how guys just seem to work right past it. Carter at third, Seager at second, Lowe at first. And that ball's hit well out to left field. Merrifield on the run, so too is Kiermaier, and he goes into a slide to make the catch. That looked like a gapper, but Kiermaier makes the good play, and the Rangers leave him loaded.
Well, we've seen Kiermaier do this over the years. Tremendous center fielder. Goes into the slide and makes a grab. It's robbing.
All right, well, here we go now, bottom of the 4th inning, with the Rangers leading 4-2. Last game in this 4-game series. Chapman, who led off the 2nd inning with a walk, leads off again here in the 4th, and he lifts his foul back behind the plate. 1-1. Eovaldi last inning had a 1-2-3 third with a couple of strikeouts. And the sliders popped up back at first base, and that is right on the line. Lowe takes care of it, 1 away. I'll wait for Whit Merrifield to come to the plate. Let's hear from Rally House.
ready for kickoff, Texas. Rally House has the game day gear you're looking for, including Cowboys sideline gear and the latest college style.
So 1 out. Here's Merrifield. And a good curveball in there for strike 1. Merrifield reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning. 1-1 the count. 33 years old now, came up with the Kansas City Royals. Spent a long time in the minor leagues before getting a chance. Fouls that one away. And then when he came up, he was immediately productive. A really good player for Kansas City. Now in his 2nd year with Toronto. He started last year with the Royals. Ended up traded to the Blue Jays for Max Castillo, as well as an infielder early last August. That's outside. 2-2. But he's been a good base runner. Very good hitter. Lifetime .285 average into this season, and he rips this one into left field, a base hit. So he's on his first hit of the ball game. Man on, and Bruce Bochy says that's enough for Eovaldi at 73 pitches, right about the max that he wanted to allow him to go. So 3 1/3 tonight for Eovaldi. And so the Rangers into the bullpen a little early tonight, but up 4-2. As we play on here in the 4th inning. Yesterday, Jordan Montgomery got the bullpen a little bit closer to back in order as we take a look at our bullpen tracker. And what that shows you really is that the Rangers have plenty of options tonight. Some of the long guys, Heaney, Bradford, and of course Martin Perez. They've got plenty of pitches to spare. So and how they are used going forward today and the next couple of days will determine what the Rangers end up doing on Sunday in Cleveland. Bradford tonight, and he's well rested. Deals upstairs, ball 1 to Alejandro Kirk.
He's got an ERA of 4.03 over 44 2/3 innings. But since being recalled from Round Rock, he's got 4 2/3 shutout innings pitched so far, no walks and 3 strikeouts.
Checks in over there at first base. Trying to keep Merrifield a little closer. Well, it used to be you throw over 3 or 4 times on a guy and fans might let you know about it. Now you throw over once and they get on you. There's a strike, 1-1. I guess they're just as tuned into the rules as well, right? They're like, well, we don't have time to warm up to this. let's just get to it. Like to boo you.
No, I remember seeing times where guys were throwing over 8, 10 times in an entire at bat.
1-1, and that's low. I think it was Jim Deshaies. This goes back a little while now. Who threw over 16 consecutive times, and it might have been actually in Canada. I want to say it was in Montreal, and he threw over 16 times to first base.
That's a little overdone, don't you think?
Seems excessive.
And I bet he wasn't even close to picking him off either.
Probably not. I used to wonder sometimes if guys did it for sport, right? If it was like, well, I've thrown over 6 times. Getting a good reaction. Let's do it again. 3-1, and Kurt lofts this one out to center field. Easy play for Carter. 2 gone.
Well, maybe the one upside would be the hitter is falling asleep after 16 throwovers.
Well, yeah, I mean, poor guy to tears over there. So Merrifield still at first as Bradford gets his first man, and now Kevin Kiermaier. He's 0 for 1, reached on a fielder's choice in the second inning. And there's a first pitch strike to Kiermaier. Bradford, I tell you, he's been asked to do a lot of different things for this team. There's a bouncer down to third base. Easy play for Smith, who was in tight. More Bradford later on. We'll have plenty of time to talk about him. He gets 2 quick outs. It takes us to the 5th inning with the Rangers leading 4-2.
Welcome back to the 5th inning presented by Audi, where the Rangers lead the Blue Jays 4-2 here. Some news, though. Mitch Garver will be out of the game after getting hit on the foot. Foot soreness is what they're calling it. He's getting x-rays, and then he will not return for this game, guys. He went back with Matt Lucera at the break, so hopefully it's no big deal, but we will keep you updated.
They did foul it off a very vulnerable part of the foot, right? The top part, there's no meat right there. Kind of feels like a hammer gets pounded on the top of your foot, so hopefully he is okay. We'll get a look at it right here. Is that split finger right on top up there on the base of the ankle and the top of the foot. You don't want to lose that bat, not the way he is swinging it right now.
Grossman starts it off here in the 5th inning, and he sends that one foul. 2-1 to Robbie. Boy, Robbie, switch hitter, but does his best work from this left side of the plate. And we're going to see a lot of right-handed pitching going forward here. I think it's like Evan Grant asked Bruce Bochy today, and he suggested it would be 9 straight right-handed starters that the Rangers are expected to see going forward. So that being the case, you might see a lot of Grossman here. 3-2. He has played himself into this spot. I mean, he has just done such a good job here at this most critical time of year. Bruce Bochy, he made it pretty clear today. He's like, look, man, I mean, I'm a manager. Like, yeah, I fill out the lineup card, but in some ways, these guys fill out the lineup card. You play well, you're going to keep playing. 3-2, and it's fouled off.
It's almost like, give me a reason not to put you in that lineup. If you continue to give me quality at bats, you're going to stay in that lineup until you show me otherwise.
Actually, I should say, with regard to Grossman, he's really done it, his exceptional work against left-handed pitching. But it was overall, the numbers for him right now are so good. And here you go right there, that note. Whether it's righty or lefty, that's kind of one of the real keys for him, right? I mean, he controls the strike zone really well, and he'll work a pitcher. Today, batting in the 5th spot in the order. 3-2 pitch, and that is inside, ball 4. Oh boy, Grossman takes a real close call, and Gausman has had a couple of trips at the plate. John Schneider's just about to lose his mind. And Schneider very close to earning an ejection from this one. He's got to be a little careful now. I can appreciate his frustration, though. That was a good pitch.
Yeah, this one looks awfully tight right here. Robbie with a great eye, but that ball is showing like a little swing back. Kurt gave it a little extra time there, just showing where that pitch ended up.
Well, there's some frustration on that Toronto side too, right? Which you could understand. This has not been a pleasant series for them. And Gausman runs that one past Jonah Heim. Strike 1.
I mean, Gausman's got 91 pitches here tonight. It's just the top of the 5th inning. and there's nobody out. You made a great point in the opening of this series, how important it was for the Rangers to get the starters.
Runner going, and Grossman in there with a stolen base. That is his first, not just his first stolen base of the year, that's his first stolen base attempt of the year, and it's a good one. Now the Blue Jays are checking upstairs to see if that one is worth challenging. Let's take a look.
Robbie even checks in at the plate. That foot gets in there. Does he stay on? Looks like he does.
Yeah. And that is a stolen base, and the Blue Jays are going to let it go.
Robbie doing a little bit of everything on that baseball field.
Yeah. Meanwhile, 0-2 on Heim, and that is low. 1-2.
And there'd be nothing better than Gausman having his attention drawn to Robbie Grossman at second base right there. You saw him staring at him with Jonah Heim up at the plate. The way he's swinging the baseball bat.
One-two. That keeps the bat going. Well, there's that activity. Tim Meza, really good lefty, getting ready in that bullpen. So Blue Jays, well, I mean, it's such a huge game for Toronto. They're at that point of the season now where they can't let any game get away from them. The 1-2, and that's outside. I saw someone today here locally was, working the numbers a little bit, because here's one problem for Toronto now is they have officially lost the tiebreaker to the Rangers in the event of a tie in the wild card race. Same with Seattle. Seattle owns the tiebreaker on Toronto as well. 2-2. And that is strike 3 called. Heim down looking one away.
This time Jonah doesn't like this pitch, a fastball. Showing this one just a little bit off the plate as well. We've seen these calls go both ways here tonight.
So now Josh Smith. And Smith takes outside for ball. So here the guys' calculation they put together is like, let's just assume that Seattle and then the Rangers play, mediocre baseball going in, a game over 500. It's like the Rangers go 9-8, Seattle something similar. Because of the tiebreakers, by his calculations, the Blue Jays would have to go 11-5 to finish better than one of those teams. 11-5, and that assumes again that either the Rangers or Seattle kind of, stumble in a little bit in the dirt. 2-1. As we know, anything's possible right now. It's you got a hodgepodge right there with really 3 teams battling for those last 2 spots. Rangers hold the tiebreaker advantage over both the Mariners and Blue Jays at the moment, but they have 7 games with Seattle, and that's maybe one of Toronto's big hopes, is that ends up being a lopsided series one way or the other. 3-1, right? If they, from Toronto's standpoint, if Seattle got loose or the Rangers got loose on the other one, that would go a long way to helping the Blue Jays. But again, kind of like with everybody, it's like you kind of have to take care of your own business. You just got to start winning games whoever you are. That's inside, ball 4, and Smith takes a walk. 2 walks in the inning.
And Gausman already over 100 pitches here in the top of the 5th. You got to think there's not much time left for him out there on the mound.
So as he gets toward the end of his night and seems to be losing that effectiveness just a little bit, that's what's got to make a manager nuts. Is now, he's in danger of just leaving a ball over the plate, or up a little bit, whatever the case, and somebody taking one more big swing and doing some real critical damage. 2 men on for Duran. And that's right over the middle, strike one.
Take a look right here. It was only the 3rd inning where he has thrown under 20 pitches. Rangers hitters really making this guy work tonight.
Oh, 2 on Ezekiel. He has a bunt hit back in the 2nd, grounded out in the 4th. Look at those runners, the 0-2 pitch, and Duran stays alive. You got the left-handed hitting Evan Carter waiting on deck. 3 of the next 4 hitters for the Rangers would be lefties, so it seems like that would be the spot for Toronto to go to Meza. We'll see. Time called. Unless there's an interest in pushing Gausman far enough to get to Marcus Semien, but that kind of seems like a long way off, given where his pitch count is now at 104. I think this is probably it right here for Gausman. Two-strike pitch to Duran. It's in the dirt. The Rangers have worked 6 walks off Gausman so far tonight. It's the most he is allowed in a start this year. In fact, the last time he walked as many as 6 batters in a game was 2017 at Yankee Stadium. 1-2 pitch and a little foul ball. That speaks to the Rangers' efforts tonight. They're great at bats. And the runners, Grossman and Smith. That's outside. 2-2.
I guarantee you Gausman is tired mentally and physically. He has not had an easy inning all night.
No, and it's been a while for Duran, but he's capable of hitting one a long way. That's low. It's a full count. Duran's last home run August 6th. It was against the Marlins and Sandy Alcantara. So the guy though who had such a big first half, 14 home runs on the year.
And another full count starting with an 0-2 count for Duran.
Little tapper by the mound, not an easy play, cut off by Chapman, and he'll get the out at first. So Duran retired, but both runners advance. Grossman at third, Smith at second. Haven't seen any movement from that dugout yet, but I'd be a little surprised if Gausman stayed in.
And tonight he has 109 pitches already. Season high is 115.
Yeah, that'll do it. So John Schneider out there. He'll take the baseball and go to his lefty Tim Meza with a rookie Evan Carter coming up in the 5th.
Carter waits the pitching change. I talked to him about facing major league pitching earlier today, and he said, you know, I'm comfortable with my strike zone, but I also know against these guys, they may never give you a ball to hit, but he's so patient. Clearly we saw that earlier with his walk, that if he doesn't get one, he's not going to chase. And he said, as far as like seeing big guys like Gausman, he said, I make sure that I can't pay attention to the name on the back of the jersey. Well, guys, right now, then he doesn't have to.
I like that approach. It'll It'll take him a long way.
It certainly served him well to this point in his very short stay in the big leagues. Deals with Tim Mesa now. And that was a stop there by Molinsky just to make sure that the public address system turned the music off so we could pitch. That's all he was doing.
Mesa with a 1.31 ERA. That's good enough for second best among American League relievers. Making his 65th appearance on the season.
There's a strike, 1-1 to Carter.
Yeah, a little shake of the head of Evan Carter saying, nope, that was not a strike.
Mesa this time a little bit wide. So it's 2-1. So far, Carter 0 for 3 against left-handers, and he takes a strike here. We'll even things up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Mesa delivers, a little bouncer second base, and that one's gathered up by Schneider. They get Carter. That ends the inning. The Rangers leave a couple in scoring position. Halfway there tonight. Rangers lead the Blue Jays 4-2 by Audi. I love that fountain. I never noticed the dogs.
No?
No, I don't know. I don't know how I missed that, but that's awesome.
Now, are they drinking or are they squirting it out? What do you think?
I think they're squirting it out. I'm not a fountain expert, I should admit, from the top on that one. Here we go. Speaking of the top, we'll be the top of the order. Springer leading it off, and he'll take a pretty good rip at strike 1 from Cody Bradford. Bradford got the final 2 outs last inning. Springer, Bichette, and Guerrero. It's high. Foul ball, strike 2 on Springer. Springer for many years has been a real thorn in the side of the Rangers. Long-time Houston Astro. And now with these Toronto Blue Jays, where he has found a home. One of the first really to lead the Astros in that core that had so much success there. He strikes out swinging here. 1 away in the 5th. Well, coming up on the next homestand on Saturday, on the next homestand, the first 15,000 fans are going to get an Adolis Garcia bobblehead presented by TXU. You can get your tickets right now at Rangers.com, and you might want to do that now because there are not many seats remaining. Big curveball for a strike on Bichette, who takes a pretty wild swing at it. One for 2 tonight with a run scored, and he sends this one to the alley in left field. That's well struck. It gets to the wall. Bichette cruises to second, and he has a 1-out double.
Well, Bichette's looking like he's starting to find his timing up at the plate. Coming into today, he was 0 for 16, but he's had some good swings this evening, including this one right here. This is just a shot into the gap for an easy stand-up double. The 2 big bats for the Jays have been silent until this evening.
So man in scoring position for Guerrero, who homered in the first. And Bradford gets him to foul that one away. 0-2. Guerrero's taking some heat this week here locally. Guy's still just 24 years old. And He's a stud. 22 homers now on the year, 86 RBIs. But there's some disappointment. The numbers aren't holding up to what he did last year. And some people kind of, it seems, have decided that he's at the root of the problem, which is probably not fair. It's a foul ball, 1-2. Because he's not the only one whose numbers are down a little bit year over year. And even though they're down a little bit, as I point out, I mean, they're I won't say exceptional, but they're
respectable.
They're top tier, boy. I mean, those are good numbers.
Well, I think there's always an expectation of a young star that they're going to continue to get better each and every year. Fans, players don't like to, and players as well, don't ever like to see a setback.
Bradford with a couple of checks. Now the 1-2 and a swing and a miss. Strikes out Guerrero, 2 away.
A good pitch right there, located right at the top of the strike zone. Guerrero's had swung at a couple of these already in this at-bat. This time swings underneath it, and Bradford gets the strikeout.
Now Snyder 0 for 2 tonight now, and he swings through strike 1. So Bradford has retired 4 of the 5 he's faced. Trying to work around Bichette's double. And Snyder takes a little bit up, 1-1. He's certainly the guy right here who has to concern you the most in this lineup right now. There is no doubt that he's swinging the best bat. Bradford steps off. Two and one.
Schneider with runners in scoring position, hitting .412 this season. Go along with 7 base on balls. Another very patient hitter.
Ooh, 2-2. This is a guy, he was a 28th round pick in 2017 out of Eastern High School in Voorhees, New Jersey. Did I say that right?
I believe so, yes.
Voorhees, New Jersey. Yeah. I don't know.
Never been there, but
okay. A little more in your neighborhood. The 2-2. That's a little high. He was crushing it this year in the International League. Pretty much every offensive category. But then when he was called up, Snyder just went nuts. His first 25 games in the big leagues, the highest OPS in the history of baseball for the first 25 games, at least in the modern era, since 1901. His OPS 1315.
That's why I jokingly said he was Babe Ruth when he first came up.
I mean, he is. It's for average, it's for power. Now, sustainable? No. I mean, it just flat out is not. He's not going to keep it at that pace. But it's certainly announced himself as a competent and very competitive hitter. He swings and misses here, though. Bradford strikes him out. In fact, he strikes out the side of the 5th.
Cody Bradford gets it done this inning. Good fastball rising right past the bat of Schneider.
4-2. Rangers on top here. 6th inning has arrived up in Toronto. Rangers and Guardians tomorrow as we get back stateside. We got to go through customs, Val. Hope you're ready for that. Tomorrow, 6 o'clock.
I forgot about that.
Bally Sports Southwest. Forgot about it. You better have your passport, pal. It's going to be critical.
You don't have it? I thought you were holding it for me.
I am not in charge. Top of the order here, Semien, Seager, and Lowe. And Meza back out for a little more work. That's fouled off, in part because the Rangers have a couple lefties following Semien. Meza came in to get Carter to end the 5th inning. The 0-2 pitch. He bounces it up there. Another breaking ball in the dirt. Marcus has flied out and struck out today, but turned in a really big walk in the 2nd inning. 2-2 from Meza. We'll do it again. The Rangers came into this series and they had to win 2 games. It's just no two ways about it. Had to beat this team twice in the 4-game series. That would earn them the tiebreaker should it come to that a couple of weeks from now. Instead, the Rangers took the first 3 games of this series. And Bruce Bochy's club now has won 5 straight. Former Blue Jay Semien sends that one foul down the left field line. Keeps the count at 3-2.
Been a lot of 3-2 counts tonight.
Yeah. Rangers have seen some pitches. They've worked 6 walks. And there's strike 3 called. Semien goes down looking. He knew it. Last time when he got called out on strikes, he was not too pleased about it.
Time now for our T-Mobile coverage cam. Tonight, Corey Seager. First at bat. 2nd pitch he sees. It's gone. Rangers lead 1-0, and then he comes back up in the 3rd inning. Hits a double to left field with the bases loaded. 2 runs come in to score. And again, first pitch against Gausman, single to right. Swinging again. He hasn't taken a pitch tonight. It's on. It is on when Corey steps into the box.
Well, he's feeling it too. I mean, that's generally his position, but he's going pretty well right now, and he takes outside. There's a take. 1-1. There's Sam Huff. Likely that he would be batting for Garver this inning. The 1-1 pitch, and that is off the handle. A slow roller to second. Schneider gets Seager, and there are 2 gone. So Corey, who's a triple shy of the cycle, will have to wait for his next at bat. With 2 gone, we check in with Leslie.
Well, guys, it does look like Sam Huff will be the DH for Mitch Garver. We got some good news, though. No fracture in Garver's left foot. They're calling it a contusion. So good news for Mitch. Sam Huff and Leody and Jonathan were both warming up in the back, though, so who knows?
All right. There's a first pitch too low. And he'll take on the corner for a strike. That is good regarding Mitch. He did hammer that ball off his foot. And probably the wise thing just to get him out, make sure that he gets to feeling better, especially flying tonight too. Get that thing on ice. Have him ready to go tomorrow. 2-strike pitch. And this one rolled back to the mound. Meza will run it almost all the way to first, and then underhands it there to get low. The inning is done. So he's come on. He's retired all 4 batters he's faced. The Rangers still lead 4-2.
4 2/3 shutout innings, and what does he do? He adds on another one to go along with 3 strikeouts in that inning.
Out for the 6th inning. Biggio, Chapman, and Merrifield for Toronto. And the first pitch, Bradford off the outside corner. Ball 1. Well, Eovaldi went 3 1/3 tonight, allowed a couple of runs on 3 hits, walked 3, struck out 3. And that ball's hammered foul. Good play down there. Make a friend. Biggio is popped out and struck out looking. To close, 2-1. Eovaldi, the good news with him tonight, he did go, what, 73 pitches. This one's on the ground down to first. Lowe will take care of it himself, one away. And I think for Eovaldi, now you're to the point where with the next outing you could stretch him out closer to 90-95 pitches. And now you're almost back to full strength with him. And I think that's a big lift.
And I think when we saw the inconsistencies today, again, he's just coming back. Doesn't have a lot of innings under his belt since coming off the IL. I think you're going to see that command come back a little bit better each time out there.
First pitch strike to Matt Chapman.
Neither Eovaldi or Gausman were very efficient with their pitches here tonight.
There's a good fastball. 0-2 on Matt Chapman. And at one time. Well, all these teams still in the hunt for a postseason spot. They're dealing with something or other. They got guys who are playing hurt or injured currently. Chapman just recently back for Toronto. I think of the Rangers hopeful to get Josh Young back on the next homestand, and then maybe at some point of that homestand as well, the prospect of getting Adolis Garcia back. 0-2 pitch. Upstairs. Rangers just lost Max Scherzer for the season Tuesday night when he came out with that strained Terry's major muscle. 1-2 pitch, and he hit a spot. Time was called for it out there.
That's exactly where Jonah wanted it. Wanted to see if Chapman would chase the 2-1 or the 1-2 pitch.
Don't want to go in on him, and they tie him up. Strike 3. That's a 4th strikeout for Bradford.
His fastball's got a little extra giddy up here tonight. We've seen him throw it right past the hitters. This one at 91 miles an hour. But remember, Jonah set this one up because he threw the changeup down and away. He got Chapman kind of settling back in and then challenged him inside and threw it right past him.
Deals low now to Merrifield. 9th batter that he has faced since coming on here in relief. And that's bounced down to third base. Good snare by Smith. They throw out Merrifield. A 1-2-3. And so how about the rookie left-hander Cody Bradford doing a great job at relief so far, and he keeps it a 4-2 game. Is brought to you by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts and by your local DFW Kubota dealers. Together we do more. That's such a beautiful city. As we welcome you inside Rogers Center tonight here in Toronto. 4-2 Rangers with the lead, and Sam Huff will bat for Mitch Garver. Garver, who you heard Leslie report moments ago, left the game with a contusion. They did do x-rays, no fractures, so just a contusion for Garver on the ball he hit off his foot earlier. And Huff will have the DH duties going forward.
Swanson takes over for the Blue Jays.
Erik Swanson just recently activated again off the injured list, and he gets that first one in for a strike.
Swanson now with 59 innings under his belt, ERA of 3.05, and opponents hitting .209. Good fastball, slider, and change. There's that changeup right there to Huff for a strike.
Going 2 on Huff, and now that one is outside. You see the numbers for Sam. He's only played in 18 games, and he does have, as we know, monstrous power. And by that I mean It's not so much the frequency, it's the distance. I mean, when he hits one, you know it. And he strikes out here, one away. He hit a second deck shot back home earlier this year. Just a ridiculous home run. As Robbie Grossman now comes to the plate. He's been on twice already tonight, a base hit and a walk. He's also stolen a base. And Swanson deals outside ball one. Robbie hits this one on the ground, second base. Snyder had it, but it bounces right off the heel of his glove and up his arm. Grossman is on. And we'll see how they score it.
That ball was hit right on the button right here to the left of Schneider.
They do give it a base hit. And listen, I'm happy for Robbie. I feel like maybe I just came up in a day where that was probably an error.
I would agree. I would agree. Sometimes fielders can play a ball into a hit.
Yeah.
By the way they position themselves.
That ball hit hard out to right field. That's a clean single by Jonah. Rangers with back-to-back hits in the 7th inning and trying to build a little something here late.
Jonah just continues to mash the baseball. Second hit of the ball game here tonight. Little changeup from Swanson, and he just rips it into right field. Ball's hit so hard, there's no way that Grossman is going to be able to go first to third on that one.
So Josh Smith, who's 0 for 2 with a walk, takes a pretty good cut at that one. 0 and 2. And baseball is such a strange game. We just completed a 3-week stretch where you wondered, well, how's this Rangers team ever going to score again? And they've completely forgotten how to play. And it seemed that way. Lost 16 of 20 at one stretch. And all of a sudden they're back to that same old form we saw for the better part of the year, right? For 120, 130 games, where they just string together one great at bat after another against good pitching.
Yeah, that mindset of just keep the line moving, right? Take your walk. If they're not going to give you a pitch, let the guy behind you do his job. Don't try to make something happen that's not there. And I think we've seen that over the last 5 games.
Stays 0-2 on Smith. He's got a piece of that one. Yeah, these have been just really tremendous efforts by this Rangers team, and it started against Oakland. And say to yourself, well, Oakland, you know, they've struggled. How real is that? Well, then they came in here. These were the biggest games of the year, and they have really just played flawless baseball on the offensive side. 0-2 and another foul ball. And they'll have another big series this weekend in Cleveland now. Trying to finish up a little business in Toronto tonight. 2 men on out there. Whoa. 1 and 2. Swanson had just returned from the injured list. He had inflammation in the spine, which sounds awful. And this one is on the ground, second base. Schneider from a knee gets 1 out at second, on to first. Double play. They're one of the best defensive teams in baseball, and they just turned a pretty double play right there to win the inning. Stretch time in Toronto. Rangers still lead it 4-2. Go to the bottom of the 7th inning at Rogers Center. Bradford's looked really good in relief here. And out for another inning. He's thrown 2 2/3 scoreless so far. He's faced 1 over the minimum. And the 1-0 to Alejandro Kirk is low. 2-0. Kirk was the first man he faced in the 4th inning. Got him to fly out to center field. He's 0 for 1 with a walk tonight. That's popped up into the seats. I was mentioning earlier, just kind of fumbling through some scenarios and how it would affect the Rangers, how it would affect the Blue Jays, and trying to maybe give a little perspective as to the sense of urgency they're probably feeling right now in Toronto. John Schneider's talked about how this is go time. There's no time to wait anymore. He's got to get his Blue Jays back in the win column. The 2-1 pitch is outside, ball 3. I was a little surprised to note in this series, as you know, we had these circled a week or 2 ago as really important games. It was pretty obvious how big these would be for the Rangers and for Toronto. And there's ball 4. Kirk has taken the walk here in the 7th. We've had 2 of the 3 smallest crowds this year in this ballpark,
which is surprising.
Yes. I mean, I don't know. They were playing great baseball coming in. They'd won 9 of their last 12 games to surge in front of the Rangers. But
there's a pretty good crowd here tonight, though.
It's not bad. I'm with you. Santiago Espinal will hit for Kevin Kiermaier.
I think part of the problem, they might have eaten too many loony dogs that one night. They couldn't make it back.
That must be it. And now Bruce Bochy is going to counter the Espinal announcement. Jose Leclerc had been getting ready in the bullpen, so it looks like he's set. Just got that pitch comm situated in his hat. So great night tonight for the rookie from Aledo. Cody Bradford looked really good. Walks the leadoff man here in the 7th, and he's done with the Rangers leading 4-2. 4-2, Rangers with the lead. Hey, Sunday, September 24th, the first 15,000 fans get a replica of Globe Life Field complete with a retractable roof, presented by Globe Life. Tickets available right now at Rangers.com. Well, when you talk about retractable roofs, this one here
was the first,
Rogers
wasn't it?
Center. I believe it was. Opened in 1989. At the time, it was called Skydome. And it had the retractable roof, which was, it just seemed mind-bending. It also had and still has, the hotel out there in center field. And of course, the CN Tower right next door. Really is a cool place to see a game. There's a strike. 1-1 to Espinal.
Leclerc making his 50th appearance of the year. 48 innings, ERA of 3.17.
Right on right here, and Espinal takes strike 2. Well, big spot for Jose Leclerc. Great job by Bradford to extend the Eovaldi outing, and now the Rangers late inning bullpen can take it from here. Stays a ball and 2 strikes on Espinal. That's definitely the best crowd we've had in this series. A Thursday night up here in Toronto. 1-2 pitch, and that got in on the hands, but good job by Espinal to foul it away. Man at first is Kirk. He's not going anywhere, and that is outside. 2-2. You would not expect Kirk to be running anytime soon. Hasn't attempted a steal this season. Stocky catcher, an important base runner right now in this game. I don't want to risk losing him. 2-2. And a swing and a miss. There's a strikeout of Espinal. And a big first out for Jose Leclerc.
He got Espinal to start stretching that strike zone. And then ultimately he comes with this fastball right here, right across the top. Good live action right there as Espinal swings through it for strike 3.
So top of the order, and George Springer takes one very close. That fastball just a little bit low. Ball 1. And there's the good slider. Catches a corner. These two have plenty of history with one another. Springer in his days with Houston saw plenty of Leclerc over the years. And he hits this one foul, 1-2. And in fact, Springer has done well against Jose Leclerc. A couple of home runs, a couple of walks. 429 average against him. A 1-2 pitch and a swing and a miss, and he looked fooled badly on that one. Back-to-back strikeouts for Leclerc.
Yeah, we've seen that a number of times from George Springer this series, and most of the pitches have been sliders, and this is a good one right here. Sharp blade action, and he just kind of waves at it. Not the approach that we normally see from George Springer.
So Bo Bichette now, and he's had a good night. 2 for 3. That one might get his adrenaline pumping just a little bit there. Up and in. Kirk, the base runner at first. Infield is back. He's fouled away 1-1 on Bichette. He singled in front of the Vladimir Guerrero homer in the first inning. Since then, since that home run, Blue Jays have had just 2 hits. One, and that's off the plate. It's coming after a night last night where the Rangers pitched a 5-hit shutout. Jordan Montgomery, along with 2 relievers, Martin Perez and Ian Kennedy. 2-1. Did he go? No. Looked down to first, and Emil Jimenez said he held up. 3-1. Leclerc, I think, believes otherwise.
Take a look at it from the side right here. Bichette goes into the swing. Yeah,
that is really
close. Because the bat head comes into the hitting area, but doesn't go through it.
There's a strike. Don't. For ball 4. Well, Bichette takes the walk. 2 men are on. And here comes Mike Maddox. We'll have a word with Leclerc, the dangerous Vladimir Guerrero Jr. coming up. But a guy who has struggled a little bit here lately, and he's 0 for 4 in his career against Leclerc. So here he is, the guy who has been much maligned and beleaguered here by these fans in recent days. The call-in shows, interviews on TV, whatever. A lot of folks here have been putting all of their frustration and blames on the shoulders of Vladimir Guerrero. And as the young guy in this team at 24 years old. That's probably a lot to take on.
Well, he has broad shoulders. And this is a guy that has grown accustomed to being in the spotlight, to being the star.
He's driven in their only runs tonight. And Leclerc's first pitch, right down the middle, strike one. A good fastball at 97.
And the one thing we have seen this entire series is he has not been able to catch up to the good fastball. Has been late. The home run that he hit was off a hanging slider. Let's see if they continue to pound them with the fastball.
Well, that's a slider, but it wasn't hittable, right? So maybe a show-me slider.
Well, it looked like they weren't even trying to throw that one for a strike right there. Hopefully, hoping that Guerrero would chase.
So you come back with a fastball here?
I would. Inside fastball.
1-1. And there is the heater right over the heart of the plate.
So that's a perfect example of what he has not been able to do. That's a pitch that this guy, this young superstar, used to just cover. A pitch right down the middle, belt high. That one used to be out of the ballpark. I'd like to see him go fastball right across the top of the zone right here. You got him in swing mode, make him chase the fastball.
1-2, and that's what he was trying to do, just a little bit
high. Jonah, we're thinking alike right here, Jonah. I like it.
All right, what now?
One more time, come on. You kind of have to fish them out there. You know, you got to put that bait out there.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Here it comes. And it's a slider away. Guerrero running after it.
I don't think I've seen that reaction from him before. Ooh. There's a slider way off the plate. All right.
Oh, boy, what a big pitch here. 2 men on, the 3-2. Got him swinging! And the inning is over. And Jose Leclerc with a huge strikeout to end the 7th.
Oh, if you got it, you got to use it. And Jose Leclerc has got it tonight. He's got the good fastball, 96 miles an hour, and he just throws it by Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Is brought to you by Baylor Scott & White Health, changing healthcare for the better. And by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts. Oh, yeah, look at that thing. It's not just a retractable roof. It's kind of a really cool retractable roof, the way it works.
Kind of like a spaceship, right?
Yeah.
Just the way that was moving.
Yeah.
Kind of expecting it to start spinning and then fly away.
Well, here we go to the 8th inning. What a performance by Leclerc. Rangers hoping to add some insurance runs here on top, 4-2. And once again, Trevor Richards appears in a game in this series. 3rd time he's pitched in this series.
He's getting some work, making his 50th appearance. He's got 65 innings and an ERA of 4.13.
Duran hits his hard out to right field, and that one is high off the fence and right. Duran goes to second. He's got a leadoff double.
And you were talking about that earlier in the week, Dave, that changes in the outfield right here. This one saves a run for the Toronto Blue Jays as it hits high up off that wall, off the screen. Great swing right here as Duran drives this ball to right center field, but take a look at where it hits. Just under the blue line, off the screen. Last year, Mr. Duran would have been trotting around the bases, but Rangers right now looking for an insurance run, a Globe Life insurance run. How about that? Maybe a couple of them, please.
Well, listen, they'll be happy with a double, and they've got Duran out there now for Carter. Some more pressure in this 8th inning now by this lineup, and Carter takes outside. 2-0. Carter walked earlier, and he takes a strike. 2-1. Dalton Varsho is the new center fielder for the Blue Jays, replacing Kiermaier. Two-1, and that is off the plate. All three. Once again, here's Carter doing what he's done his whole career, right? Just very solid at bat. Good approach. Trying to force Richards into throwing him something he can drive. And first a check in of Duran. Eight stolen bases this year for Ezekiel. 3-1, and that's high, ball 4. So Carter walks for a second time tonight. Rangers have the first 2 men on now in the 8th inning. Well, not the way Richards wanted to start his night, and he gets a visit from Pete Walker. They've got some stuff to figure out right now, these Blue Jays.
Well, one of the things that you do love to see is the bottom of the order getting on base. Ezekiel leading this inning off with a double. Evan Carter working a walk. And now that 1-2 punch that we've been talking about all series. Marcus Semien and Corey Seager coming up to the plate.
So a couple of good base runners out there. That's the other part of it. I mean, all base runners are good base runners, but these guys can move and they know how to run. And the first pitch to Semien, that one out into left field. That's a base hit. Duran will score easily. Carter hustling for third. Here comes a throw, not in time. And Semien gets to second. The Rangers add a big run. It's 5-2 in the 8th.
Oh, you gotta love speed. Evan Carter, what a tremendous jump he gets off of first base. Ezekiel Duran goes on contact. He knows where the left fielder's playing. He realizes that this ball is pulled towards the line, and he takes off. They're not going to get him, but it's Evan Carter from behind. Take a look at this jump right here. He gets running, and he just turns on the jets from second to third. They got no chance to get him there as Marcus Semien hustling into second base with a stand-up double. Oh, you love those insurance runs. Here we go.
Meanwhile, Seager intentionally walked. And so Lowe with a chance with the bases loaded, nobody out. 36th double of the year for Marcus Semien. And Lowe takes a strike, 1-1. Seager didn't get that chance at the potential triple. Carter, Semien, Seager third to first. 2-1 for a guy who's having a little trouble throwing strikes. A 5-2 lead in the 8th. In the dirt. Yimi Garcia loosening in the Toronto bullpen. Big 3-1 pitch, and this one up the middle. That's a base hit. 1 run is in. Here comes Semien. He scores. It's a 2-run single for Nathaniel Lowe. 7-2 Rangers.
No better feeling for Nathaniel Lowe than to see Corey Seager get walked, and you get the opportunity with the bases loaded. And what do? Last night, the 3-run home run. This time, a big 2-run single. A couple of more insurance runs for the Rangers. Take a look at the big smile on his face once he gets over to first base. Oh yeah, clutch hitting right there by Nathaniel Lowe.
Now Leody Taveras will pinch hit here for Huff. Still nobody out in the inning, and John Snyder's seen enough, and now he's getting booed. They haven't done that up here in Toronto in a long, long time, but the Rangers rolling 7-2 tonight.
After Nathaniel Lowe had a 2-run single, and he talked about his hitting after last night's game when he had that big 3-1 home run, and he said it's been brutal. He said you don't play this game to be mediocre and average. He said I want to be one of the best, and obviously the stretch he's been in really hasn't been his best, and he said but the best part is we won. And again, that's the kind of attitude you have to have even if things aren't going well at the plate, guys.
Well, listen, these guys have such incredible expectations for themselves, and they do need reminding every now and then, you know, the level they're playing and against the level. But I mean, Lowe's had a great year. In a lot of ways, you could argue it's every bit as good as last year when he won the Silver Slugger. Not quite as many home runs, but he's getting on base at a higher clip. As Taveras hits here, not in the lineup today, been nursing a sore left hand. Chance to bat against Yimi Garcia. He shows bunt, drops it down in front of the plate. Garcia has it, and he has nowhere to go with it. Oh my goodness, just a brain cramp right there. Thought maybe he had a play at third, and the wheels are coming off for the Blue Jays.
So for a pitcher, when the bunt's on, you have to be thinking third the entire way until you recognize, hey, there's no chance, and then I'm going to go to first. But watch his reaction. He never turns towards third until it's too late. He's squared up. He looks at first. Why? And then he looks at third. It should be look at third first, and I don't have a plate now. I go to first base. He did it the opposite, and the Rangers catch a big break right here.
My goodness. So the base is loaded again. And Robbie Grossman, who's been on 3 times tonight already with a couple of hits, a chance to really deal the knockout blow. That's in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. And a reeling Blue Jays squad in this 4-game series. It's just amazing what we have seen, because they came in playing some great baseball, and it was the Rangers who were really scuffling. It's outside. 2-1. After this series, the remainder of the games on the schedule for Toronto are all in the division, and that is not good news for them. Outside, ball 3. The Blue Jays are 12-25 in their own division. They are just getting throttled by the likes of the Orioles and the Rays, Red Sox and the Yankees, and that's who they have left. 3-1, and that is ball 4. Garcia's just walked in a run, and these fans have had it. 8-2 Rangers. On the 8th batter of the inning, Jonah Heim here, still nobody out. Garcia grooves strike 1. Two doubles, 2 singles, 3 walks, one of them intentional in the inning. Jonah's already homered tonight. And with the infield in, he'll take upstairs 1-1. So I mean, he's got a chance here. If he can put one in play with even just a little bit on it, should be able to get it through the infield. As long as he doesn't hit it right at somebody. That's a strike. 1-2.
Jonah with the bases loaded, hitting .267. He's got 3 grand slams to his credit, including one the other night.
He has had a big series, 8 RBIs in this series. 4 runs already across in the 8th. 1-2. That's low. Rangers won yesterday 10-0. Out hitting the Blue Jays 12-5. Here they lead 8-2. They've out hit the Blue Jays 12-4.
Let's go back to Monday night. From the right side, Jonah jumps all over this pitch. Bases loaded, grand slam. This one put the final nail in the coffin on Monday night to create that win for the Texas Rangers. And a big sigh of relief to start this series.
2-2. And Heim strikes out swinging. First down of the inning for Garcia. So now Josh Smith, he's the 9th hitter of the inning. And he'll take outside, ball 1. That ball's in the air. Center field. Varsho is back near the wall. Leaps up and he'll make the catch. Low tags. He'll score on the deep sacrifice fly to center field. Smith makes it 9-2 Rangers in the 8th inning.
Boy, he hit that ball a long way. You heard the crack of the bat and you're thinking maybe, just maybe, this ball's going to leave the ballpark. But still good enough for a sacrifice fly as the Rangers continue to play add-on here in the top of the 8th inning. Varsho catching that ball right at the base of the wall. Nathaniel Lowe tagging up with plenty of time.
Another 5-run inning for the Rangers. And now Duran, who started the inning with a double, and he just missed hitting it out. Takes ball 1. Men on the corners, infield bat. And that's low. 2-0. That's in the air. Right field, Biggio backpedaling, and the inning is done. Rangers send 10 men to the plate. They score 5 more runs. A big hit delivered by Nathaniel Lowe. And the Rangers have a huge lead in Toronto tonight. Fresh stats. Nathaniel Lowe, by the way, among American League first basemen, leading in doubles and in walks. Really leading just about in everything. It looks like it could be another Silver Slugger season for Lowe.
Well, that's what makes me smile. You were just talking about it last inning where he doesn't feel like he's having a good year. And then you look at those stats and you're like, wait a second. First in that, and first in that. But I think as a player, he turned the corner last year, right? He proved a lot of people in the game wrong. The fact that they said, oh, he can't hit left-handers, he did that. He did it with power. So what you want to do, you don't want to just stay there. You certainly don't want to go backwards. You want to continue to get better. And I think that's what he's talking about when he's going, you know, I'm not doing what I think I should be doing, because he has high expectations for himself.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Davis Schneider. And he should. Right? I mean, that's good. That's a sign of self-confidence, which is so critical.
It's necessary if you're going to compete and be successful at this level. If you don't have a desire to get better, to continue to improve, to make tweaks, to make adjustments, you won't survive here. You just won't.
Snyder lines out to third to begin the 8th inning. And now Bruce Bochy out there to get the baseball from Jose Leclerc. What a job he did. Leclerc with 3 strikeouts in his inning and a third. And he'll give way to Will Smith here in the 8th inning. Rangers with the lead. Nice job by Jose Leclerc tonight, and he gets congratulations from his teammates in the Rangers dugout. Will Smith will take over now in the 8th inning. All smiles down there.
Oh, you like to see smiles this late in the season and this late in the game as Will Smith takes over. He's riding a nice run of 6 scoreless innings. His ERA at 3.76, and hitters are batting .201 off of the left-hander.
Biggio the batter, and he'll bounce it over to the right side. Playable for Semien, 2 away. So we talked about some of the changes they made at this ballpark. The higher fences, they've changed the dimensions and the power alleys a little bit. It used to be symmetrical all the way around, and partly because they wanted to set up those new bullpens. And the bullpen in right field now is the Rangers pen. There's the Blue Jays pen in left. Will Smith saying before the ball game, these might be the best bullpens in baseball now. This one a bouncer down to third. Smith is there to help out Smith and get out of this inning. A 1-2-3-8 9th inning coming up. Will happy with the job done. As we go to the 9th, it's the Rangers 9-2.
Tonight the pitching was outstanding. Eovaldi started the game. He went 3 1/3 innings, strikes out 3, gives up only 2 runs, and then Cody Bradford steps in 2.2 innings, strikes out 4, and then Jose Leclerc comes in and throws 1 1/3. He also with 3 strikeouts and no runs. Pitching was on point here tonight at Rogers Center to go along with the lumber.
I mean, no kidding. 9 more runs again tonight. And really, it's been all facets of the game have lined up really well in this series. So now, 9th inning. And Bowden Francis is the pitcher here for Toronto.
Making his 20th appearance. He's got 35 1/3 innings pitched. An ERA of 1.78.
He deals with Evan Carter. Start this 9th inning. And that one runs inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Another good game for the rookie. Carter playing at just his 7th major league game. It's his 6th big league start, and he takes a strike, 1 and 2. A couple of walks tonight, and an 0 for 2 evening. Francis to the plate, and a swing and a miss. Carter strikes out, 1 away in the 9th. Well, who knows? We've got another chance for Corey Seager, who is a, well, we're not going to have it. Doggone it. Jonathan Ornelas. Sorry, Jonathan, don't take any offense, please. It's just that Corey was a triple shy of the cycle. I thought that'd be fun. 10 cycles in Rangers history. Marcus, meanwhile, doubled his last time up. He has scored twice today, driven in a run. And Francis deals low, 2-0.
Marcus Semien has a lot of Cal Ripken Jr. in him. He just does not want to come off the baseball field. Doesn't matter the score, whether the team's winning by 10, losing by 10. He wants to be out there every inning, take every at bat.
As a manager, Bruce Bochy was asked about it the other day. Of course, fans in Toronto are familiar with Marcus. A couple years ago, put together a spectacular season here in a Blue Jays uniform. And he'll take ball 4 and he'll walk here in the 9th. Anyway, Boch was asked about what's it like in managing a guy like Marcus Semien. And he's like, well, you don't have to do anything.
I was going to say, it's easy.
You don't have to think about him. You don't have to worry. Like, all you know is that he's going to show up and play the best second base in the league. That's all. So just, okay.
Stay out of his way.
Exactly. And then, of course, went on to talk a little bit about just what a great example he sets and how he helps, frankly, the manager. Because he can help manage that clubhouse and whatnot. And there's a hit batter, so Ornelas didn't get much of a chance to do anything. Hit on the first pitch he sees.
The other thing about Marcus, we get here early at the ballpark every day as we prepare for the game, and he's always out there. He's the first one taking ground balls every single day. He's in the batting cage every single day. I think that's just part of his makeup and what he feels like he needs to do to be ready to compete on a nightly basis at 7:05 or 7:10. That's his routine, and he just never veers off of it.
He's like a prematurely an old man. I mean, he is rigid about what he feels like he has to do every day to be ready, and he puts it in. And after the game's right, I mean, walking out, he's in the weight room every night. It's not long. He goes in there though every night and hits the weights real quickly after the game.
Well, we've noticed that here at Rogers Center, because as we're walking out of the building,
just foul.
As we're walking out, we 3 nights in a row at the exact same time, we have seen him coming out of the weight room, just finishing the workout. He probably puts in 20 to 30 minutes, hard workout, done for the night, goes in, ices, comes back, puts it on replay. Let's do it all over again.
But I get it, right? I mean, this is a game that lends itself to almost like this ritualistic preparation every night. You go through.
Routine is so important.
Yeah. 0-2. Fouled away.
And not everyone's going to have the same routine. Corey Seager doesn't have the same routine as Marcus Semien. But that's Corey's routine, and this is my routine. I'm going to stick with my routine, and he's going to stay on it the entire time, the entire season.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that guy, Corey Seager, he's pretty rigid about his routine too.
There's no question about it. And it's totally different from Marcus's.
This one down the left field line, and that's a great effort out there, but that one falls foul, and wow, did Merrifield perhaps hurt himself on that slide? Yeah. It's like that left hamstring tightened up on him just a little bit.
He actually misplays this ball. If he just keeps running, he slides too early. He could have just ran right underneath that.
That's the second ball tonight that hit him in the glove. That hurts.
He just misjudged where that ball was actually landing. He thought it was a lot closer to the wall.
It looks like he's trying to talk his way to staying in the game. And Merrifield is due to lead off in the bottom of the 9th inning. So one way or the other, it's kind of a big decision. And you can see him favoring it a little bit as he heads out there. He just wants to give himself a chance to loosen it up a little bit. He's going to have to be a little careful. 9-2 Rangers lead. You see the frustration, not just over that play. There's a lot of frustration building here in Toronto over how things have gone this week. Semien at second, Ornelas at first. That's up and out. 1-2 on Nathaniel. Lowe drove home a couple of big runs last inning. Part of a 5-run Rangers uprising in the 8th. Stays 1-2. Cleveland tomorrow. Rangers open a 3-game series against the Guardians on the road Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Gray will go tomorrow for the Rangers. Lucas Giolito expected to throw for Cleveland. 1-2 pitch, and that's in the air down the left side. Foul. Lowe doing some pretty good battle. Be interesting to see when the game's over what the final tally is in terms of pitches seen by the Rangers. The 1-2 pitch. Another foul ball.
We've seen a lot tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's led to just a ton of base runners. Whether that be via the hits or the walks tonight. And they've walked 10 times. 10 walks, 12 hits. The 1-2 pitch, and it's off the plate. A chance to add to the damage here. And Lowe watches ball 3. It's hard to imagine this series going any better than it has. The payoff pitch, and Lowe fights it off. The Rangers are trying to complete what would be their 9th series sweep of the season. That's a pretty big number. They won it up here, and the 3-2 on the way. Lowe serves another one foul.
Just imagine how frustrating this is for the Toronto Blue Jays pitchers. We've seen so many at bats like this. 3-2, foul ball, foul ball.
I think this is the 13th pitch of the at bat, and now there will be a 14th. That is amazing.
That's where pitchers just want to yell at the hitter. Just put it in play, please. Just hit the ball.
I mean, that's a full inning, right? For a lot of guys, that's basically an inning's worth of pitches so far to Lowe. Fourteenth pitch of the at bat right here. And Lowe shoots it up the middle. Bichette on the bag, 1, on to first, 2, and it ends the inning. Well, it was a long battle, but it ends up ending the inning. So bottom of the 9th coming up in Toronto with the Rangers leading by 7. Taking over at shortstop now. Jankowski had come in last inning in left field. So that's the difference in the setup defensively. Now you look at the standings now. The Rangers 3 outs away here. Houston and Seattle are idle today. Neither of them playing. So the Rangers, if they can hold on here, would be a half game back of Houston with the win, and it would increase their lead to a full game over Seattle in the wild card and in the division. Toronto, there you see them lagging and in danger of falling further back with a loss here today. Tampa Bay lost earlier today. Pardon me, they won earlier today. They beat Baltimore there. By the way, they do lead the American League wild card, but Tampa Bay now is only a game back of Baltimore in the division. So that's become a race. Bottom of the 9th, and Jonathan Hernandez will be out to pitch here. Merrifield stays in the game, and he takes strike 1.
Hernandez with a 6.45 ERA over 22 in the 3rd innings. Opponent's hitting .279. He was just recalled from Round Rock when Max Scherzer went on the IL.
Jumps ahead of Merrifield 0-2. So another opportunity for Hernandez to get back on track. He's got great stuff. The 0-2 and a swing and a miss. Well, he strikes out Merrifield, and that's a good start to his outing tonight.
Really good tight slider here from Hernandez to finish him off. You see that little dot on the ball. There's Merrifield, who does not look completely healthy right there.
Strike one. Alejandro Kirk. A couple of walks tonight for Kirk. And he whiffs it down. 0-2. Blue Jays have been held to just 4 hits tonight. No time called. Conversation at the plate with Mike Molinsky and Jonah Heim. That's done. Now the 0-2 on the way from Hernandez, and this one fouled back. Boy, they right now, these Blue Jays hitters, they look unable or unwilling to lay off that slider. I mean, they just keep going after it, and it's off the plate pretty much every time. 0-2. There's a fastball, and it's hit high in the air down the line. That might be playable. No. Ends up bounding up the seats. Well, this crowd really thinned out during that 5-run 8th inning. They just headed for the exits. That's 1-2. And if this series were a novel for these fans up here in Toronto, it's read like Old Yeller. I think they're a little disappointed with the way things are turning out. A little bouncer up the middle picked up by Semien, and he'll throw to first. Kirk retired. 2 up, 2 down in the ninth.
You know, when you see Jonathan Hernandez throw the ball like he is tonight, you're just amazed by the stuff that he has. The tremendous movement of his fastball, the sharpness of his slider. And you just hope that he'll harness the command of it and be able to throw it 4 strikes.
Now Varsho's first trip to the plate here. And he takes a strike. It's 0-2. It's been 30 years since the Rangers have swept a 4-game series from Toronto. Fouled away. Stays 0-2. July of their last World Series run in Toronto, 1993. Rangers took 4 straight from the Blue Jays. They'd go on and have a magical finish to that season. It was a tremendous run that they had up here in their new ballpark. 1-2 the count. It's been over a decade since the Rangers have swept a series of any length from the Blue Jays. 2012, the last time they took every game of a series. 2-2. They're 1 out away from doing that tonight. And I'm not sure many of us could have dreamt that they would sweep this series. A 2-2 outside, and it's a full count. Bouncer right side. Lowe has it. And Hernandez just does win the race to first. They get Varsho. And these fans in Toronto give one last Bronx cheer to the Blue Jays. What a sweep for these Texas Rangers.
Yeah, what a way to start this road trip. A big road trip against the Toronto Blue Jays and the Cleveland Indians, and these guys came out swinging, scoring 35 runs here in Toronto.
9-2 our final score, and we'll come back and wrap it up in a moment.